There has been quite a bit coming out this whole week. We've had the High Elf video yesterday, or was that Tuesday? It was Tuesday. We had the Dark Elf engine trailer drop today. Some other pictures that have come out as well from Total War Access. And then tomorrow we have a reveal for the Dark Elf roster. So we have so much coming out here, and I wanted to kind of touch on some of this. I had a bunch of other lore videos planned for this entire week that has totally kind of put those on hold here. I was tabled them. I was going to be doing a Legendary Lord video on the Skaven and another one on Dark Elves. So I guess that'll be put on hold. But so today I want to cover the Dark Elves in-engine trailer, as you can probably see here. And then I eventually want to touch in on the pictures, the 4 pictures that were come out, and some of the units that I saw, and just talk about those. So let's go ahead and start this off. We'll kind of go through the lore and everything that I've seen from this. The volume is kind of low, so really the star of the show is my pretty voice. And just as a reminder, if I haven't reminded you enough, I played High Elves in Total War, or I'm sorry, in Tabletop, so High Elves are a huge boner for me, but I was always between High Elves or Dark Elves, High Elves or Dark Elves, High Elves or Dark Elves. And we finally get like another beautiful glimpse already here at Nagaroth. We've seen, and we've talked about this a lot in some of the other videos, but how like jagged and terrifying their architecture is. And right now we have Morathi and Malekith right off the bat. Morathi is way less clothed in the Tabletop, let me tell you that. But this is Malekith's mother, and Malekith is actually the son of Anarion, who is pretty much the first real big conqueror and warrior in general of the High Elves. Anarion and Calador mirror Tyrion and Teclis. But let's go on here, and Tyrion and Teclis are the sons, are a very distant relative to Malekith here through Morleone, who is one of Anarion's sons. So we have a High Elf city just getting ruined here. Now let's just kind of take a step back here, do that kind of, hey, let's see what's in the foreground here. So we have a Dark Elf dragon definitely kind of ripping through everything. Jump back just a little bit more. Okay. So we have just some High Elf and Dark Elf units fighting here. This looks like Cold One Knights duking it out. I can't tell if this is High Elf or Dark Elf archers. We definitely have a Hydra right here going hog wild. More Cold One Knights. I'm looking to see if we see any of the special units, like the Executioners or the Black Guard, but we will see them in the pictures, so hang tight. We'll be doing a lot of pausing here back and forth. High Elf City just getting put to the sword. Hopefully that'll be in the game, the new spell, Crushed by a Column. I watched this the second I woke up. It just was, my morning wood went from morning wooder after this. And that's really cool. Okay, so take a look at the effects of the dark magic. High magic, you know, we have a lot of blues and whites. With dark magic, we have a lot of purples and blacks and dark blues. So very contrast, very beautiful.
And everything that's in it.
Malekith here, just all sorts of pissed. He's kind of the Darth Vader of the Warhammer world. Just coming in, always, man. Look, this is like a straight up scene from Rogue One. Spoiler alert, Darth Vader fucks everyone up at the end of Rogue One. The only thing missing from this is putting like a Rebel Alliance soldier on the ceiling for him to cut him down with his lightsaber. Oh, my boner. So, an awesome Hydra coming out of the woodwork here. I guess stonework would be a better word for it. And how do you square up on that? How do you go, get my bow. I got this. Fool of a took. So we have a Morathi coming in with what looks to be a halberd here. That's an interesting development, as she does not have that in the Tabletop. We've got some dark spears, dark spears coming on the sides here, as opposed to the dark shards and the bleak swords. Oh, who's in the back? Who's in the back? What is that in the back? Okay, so we definitely, fucker. Definitely have some, so we have some witch elves, and this looks like to be like a hero character of sorts. Like maybe an assassin with that kind of skull look on his face. This looks like might be like a dreadlord or a, not the basically the noble equivalent.
I have only begun.
the Great Vortex, and he's just all mad. He's like, Emperor Palpatine, do it! So, we didn't get a ton of reveal here in this trailer, but we've got a really good taste, I'd say. Just enough to really kind of, you know, whet the beak. But that really kind of covers the Dark Elf in-engine trailer. I want to jump into these 4 pictures here. But one thing to note is he's got a shield in this picture. He does not have a shield in tabletop. So that's pretty important distinction here. It's to be expected that they're going to do a couple things here a little bit different to kind of match them in with High Elf. So maybe this will be kind of a way to directly match Tyrion. But again, even Tyrion doesn't even have a shield. So it's interesting to see this with him having a shield, which is just kind of a little side note there. But let's take a look now at these pictures. Dragon Princes marching across, charging into a whole line of Dark Spears. Clearly, Creative Assembly doesn't know how their mechanics work, as this is going to be folly for them. But not a lot can be seen from this picture's background. In general, it's very kind of convoluted. In the back left corner, behind like the Dark Spear's helmets, you can kind of see what looks like what might be a bolt thrower, but that's really kind of reaching here. There's not a lot to go on here, but again, we have another glorious look and more of a close look at the Dragon Princes, which I'm very, very stoked on for the High Elf units. And it does not look like that is Malekith on that Dark Dragon. So that looks like we'll have Dark Dragon as an option for the Dreadlords, which are the Lord units of the Dark Elves. Now we're cutting over here now to the next one. We've got that at the second picture here is of Malekith kind of just going to town on some High Elves, and it looks like he's hitting some Sword Masters of Hoeth. He's got his Dark Spears filling in the void, and he again has a shield in this picture, so do keep note of that. But in the upper left corner, that looks like it would be a Dreadlord on a Cold One of sorts, because he's got a very ornate cape. Typically Cold One Knights don't have capes. So not a lot, again, to be found from this picture. More High Elves and Dark Elves, if anything. But we can really start to get into some of the goodies in the third one here, which is going to be a little with Lizardmen this time around. So with this one, there's actually quite a bit going. You know, we've got the Croxigar, we've seen the Chameleons, or seen the Skinks, we've got the Stegodons, we've got more Dark Spears here. But now if we take a look at the back right of this picture, we have 2 different things. We've got the Dark Shards, the Bleak Swords. I think it's Bleak Swords, which is the Swordman unit of the variant of the Spearmen. We've got the Executions of Hargoneth, those guys with the golden face masks and large 2-handed swords on them. And then to the right of them, we can see the Dark Riders. Those are those units that are kind of charging up in the center here. They're the light cavalry units of the Dark Elves. They've got repeating crossbows, they've got their spears, and then to the right of them, behind the units of what looks to be another unit of Bleak Swords, is their Corsairs. That's your units that are going to have 2 weapons. They're basically the mirror of the White Lions of Trace. White Lions of Trace have their axe and their lion cloak. These guys have the Sea Dragon scale cloak and 2 weapons. I can't see anything from the back, like in the background, in the very, very, very far background. It looks like there's Blackguard, but it's just because they look like they're a stalwart, like stocky unit without any shields in their hands. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But if we look at the very back behind the Dark Riders, we see guys with another set of units with shields. So I'm not sure if we have the Dark Riders as an option with shields or if those are chariots. I can't tell 100%. We can definitely look, though, directly up from them, sort of the back center of the picture here. The right center. It's Cold One chariots. So that's an awesome thing to note. We will be seeing some Cold One chariots, and we'll get the roster reveal, which is really going to show us a lot more of this, but it's pretty cool to see that so far. And another Dreadlord is what it looks like. That is definitely not Malekith on a Dark Dragon. Just going balls deep on a Carnosaur here. Let's jump on over to the next picture here. We've got, so this is a pretty interesting one. Not a lot of craziness going on with the High Elves. You know, we can see our White Lion, we can see our Dragon Prince, we can see Phoenix Guard in the back there, in the back corner behind the Witch Elf's shoulder. But it looks like this might be a Dreadlord on foot or the hero option for the Dark Elf melee unit, and definitely what looks to be like a Hag Queen or whatever it is, basically the hero option for the Witch Elves, more of an assassination type role, but more of a strong duelist. So definitely seeing that in this picture here. Not a lot in the background aside from these two units though. Let's go now to the very last one. The other boy in the band, as I like to say. And here we have front and center those Dark Elf Corsairs I was talking about. Their Sea Dragon Cloak. It's got that big, long billow behind them. It's got their two weapons, jumping right into a line of spearmen here. And then to the right of that, you can see just a line of Witch Elves behind the spearmen. Then behind that, even further, you have got what looks to be some Executioners of Hargoneth, and then behind that even more Executioners of Hargoneth. There are some units with capes in the background, but it looks like they've got gold crests on their head to the left of those Executioners, so they look to be more like actual Phoenix Guard than they do to be the Black Guard, which are basically the Dark Elf equivalent of those. But if we shift our focus now to the Total War symbol in the lower left corner of that picture and look a little north of that, we can see the Cauldron of Blood or the Altar of Cain. This is definitely a Cauldron of Blood, but maybe they're going to have both in the game. And we see quite a few Cold One Knights. And if we look behind that even further, we have some skirmishers on the hill. Those might be some shades. Who knows? It's hard to really tell. But I'm looking here to see if I see anything else. So it looks like some more cavalry's coming down from the hill. There are more Cold One Knights is what it looks like, really, because they look a little bit more monstrous and less like actual elves. But you, of course, have the most glaring thing on the picture, the Hydra. So I'm wondering, I don't see anything like Beastmasters that would be controlling this Hydra. So I'm wondering then if the Hydras will just kind of be on their own, sans Beastmaster, or if they will be adding a Beastmaster mechanic. We're going to find out tomorrow for sure, because they're going to put all of this in. But here's my kind of, this was pretty much my speculation on what I've seen in these pictures, what I kind of see coming out as far as my knowledge of the tabletop. But hopefully you guys got a pretty good idea and are hyped up even more for the roster reveal tomorrow. I'll be doing the same kind of format. Sneak home from work during my lunch and do a video for you all so you guys can have something to chew on over the weekend. But do keep in mind, we do have a stream here on Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard as always. But I hope to see you guys there. Thanks for watching and have a good one. Bye.